royalties from Jerry Goldstein and Fire Productions.
What caused the sudden breakup of the powerful band War? They were once known for hits like Low Rider and Why Can't We Be Friends, music that brought people together. But behind the scenes, things weren't so friendly. The band that stood for unity ended up falling apart. Was it about money, ego, or something deeper? Let's take a closer look at what really happened to break up War.
One of the main groups that came out of Jeffties that was very successful was War.
Yes, sir.
War was the house band for Jeffties on the album.
It all started in 1962 when Howard E. Scott and Harold Brown started a music group in Long Beach, California. They called the group The Creators. A few years later, they added more members. These members were Charles Miller, Morris B.B. Dickerson, and Lonnie Jordan. Later, Lee Oscar and Papa D. Allen joined the group too. All of them came from different backgrounds. They grew up in poor parts of Los Angeles where people from many races lived together. Because of this, they listened to many types of music like jazz, funk, rock, and soul. They mixed these styles when they played music. The Creators made a few songs with a company called Door Records. While doing this, they worked with a saxophone player named Jay Contrelli. He was from another band called Love. In 1968, the group changed its name to Night Shift. They chose this name because Harold Brown worked at night in a steel factory. Around that time, they also started performing with a rhythm and blues artist named Melvin Deacon Jones. Some people got him confused with the football player who had the same name, but this Deacon Jones was only a music artist. Later, the group met two important people. One was a record producer named Jerry Goldstein. He had worked on hit songs like My Boyfriend's Back and I Want Candy. The other was a singer named Eric Burdon. He used to be the lead singer for a British band called The Animals.
What is your fascination with American black music? Why American black music?
Well, it's the blues in particular as an expression of the feeling that you get when you know that you're more than qualified, but you're continually turned down.
In 1969, Goldstein saw the band playing live at a club called the Rag Doll. He liked their music. He and Eric Burdon helped the band grow. The band finally changed its name to War. They wanted their music to send a message about peace and brotherhood. Their song Spill the Wine became a big hit.
There was long ones, tall ones, big one around.
In 1980, something very sad happened. Charles Miller, the saxophone player from the band War, was even though he had already left the band in 1979 and was replaced by Pat Rizzo. His death still hurt the band and its fans. Charles was known for his great talent. He helped shape the sound of War. When news came that he had been killed, it shocked many people. His death was a big loss. It was not just about music, it was about a life taken too soon. Even if he wasn't in the band anymore, he was still part of their story. People remembered him not only for his music, but also for the way he brought energy to the group. His murder was a painful moment that stayed with the band forever. During the 1970s and 1980s, the band had more problems. Harold Brown, who was one of the founding members, had trouble with alcohol. He played the drums and was very important to the band's sound, but as the band became more famous, things got harder. Harold started drinking more. His alcohol use made things worse between him and the other members. The band did not work as well as before. There were fights and disagreements. In later years, Harold admitted this himself. He said that alcohol changed how he acted and how he played. He knew it hurt his relationships and career. It was not easy for him to talk about it, but he was honest. His drinking caused problems for the band when they were trying to stay strong. B.B. Dickerson, the band's bass player in the early years, also had problems. He struggled with drugs and alcohol too. It became harder for him to keep up with the band's schedule. War toured a lot and B.B. could not always handle it. His health and focus were not the same. Because of these problems, he left the band in the late 1970s. His leaving was not just because he wanted to quit, but because he couldn't keep up anymore. His substance use played a big part. This made things harder for the group as they lost a strong part of their sound. His playing was a big reason why people loved the early songs of War. Lonnie Jordan, who sang lead and played the keyboard, also had a hard time. He dealt with addiction during the 1970s and 1980s. Like others in the band, fame brought pressure. It was not not easy to be in the spotlight all the time. Lonnie used drugs during those years. It affected his personal life and his time with the band. Still, even with his problems, he stayed with War. He kept working and performing even while he was struggling. Lonnie later spoke about his addiction. He didn't hide it. He said the music helped him survive those years. Even when things were bad, he kept going and remained a big part of the group. In the 1970s, War became popular with songs like Lowrider and
The low rider is a little higher.
and Why Can't We Be Friends?
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we?
Behind the music, there were many problems and rumors. Some people believed the band had ties to the Black Panther Party. The Black Panthers were known for fighting for black rights, but many people in America thought they were dangerous. After War started adding political messages to their music, people began talking. Some said the band was working with the Black Panthers, but the band members always said this was not true. They said they just wanted to make music that talked about real-life problems, not to support any political group. Still, many fans and critics kept debating about it. There were also problems inside the band. One former member, Nancy Hornberg, said she was bullied and treated badly by other band members. She felt they talked down to her and made the work environment toxic. She said she didn't feel safe or respected while being part of the band. Her words made people look at the band differently. Some fans felt sad hearing about what she went through. It showed that even though the band made music about peace and friendship, things behind the scenes were not so friendly. In 1971, the band had a big change. Eric Burdon, the singer who helped start War, suddenly left the group. They were in the middle of a European tour. He said he was too tired and needed to stop. The band was surprised and upset. They had to finish the tour without him. Some members felt like he left them during a hard time. This caused some hurt feelings and made things harder for the group. Another problem happened between two important members, drummer Harold Brown and harmonica player Lee Oskar. Harold wanted the band to stay close to funk and soul music, but Lee wanted to try new and strange sounds. They argued a lot about the direction of their music. These fights made it harder for the band to work together. Even though both men cared about the music, they just didn't agree on how it should sound. By the 1980s, more problems started to grow inside the band. Members started to fight over who should be the leader. They also disagreed about what kind of music the band should make. Some people wanted to keep the old style, while others wanted to try something new. These arguments led to some members leaving the band. It was a tough time, and the band started to fall apart. Many fans noticed the change in their music and energy. In the 1990s, things got even worse. A legal fight started over the band's name. Some original members, Harold Brown, Lee Oskar, and B.B. Dickerson, were not allowed to use the name War anymore. They went to court but lost the case. Because of this, they had to perform under a new name. They called themselves the Lowrider Band. Fans were confused. Some didn't know who was in the real War band anymore. This made the split between old members even more clear. The band also had big problems with their manager, Jerry Goldstein. The members said Jerry treated them unfairly. They accused him of taking too much control over the band's money, name, and music rights. They said he didn't let them have a say in their own band. This caused many lawsuits. The fight between the band and their manager lasted for years. It tore the group apart even more and made it hard for them to move forward.
I went and we had to go after our royalties from Jerry Goldstein and File Productions.
In the early 1980s, Lee Oskar left the band. Some people said he left because of the creative fights. Others said he had a drinking problem. Reports say that Lee was struggling with alcohol and personal issues. This made it hard for him to continue with the band. His leaving was another blow to the group, as he was a big part of their sound. Many fans were sad to see him go. They called it the Lowrider Band, based on one of their most famous songs. But this change confused fans. Some people didn't know which band was which. Some went to concerts thinking they were seeing the original War, but it was actually the Lowrider Band. This showed how deep the split was between the old members and those who stayed with the name War. The story of War is not just about music, it's also about problems, misunderstandings, and broken friendships. From the rumors about the Black Panthers to the fights over money and music, the band went through many hard times. Even though they made songs about peace and togetherness, the truth behind the scenes was often the opposite. Members left, feelings were hurt, and the group changed forever.